At age 18, you have to decide what you're going to do every day with your life for the next 50 years, or at least what you think you're going to do. To help me with my search for a future career, I interviewed Mr. Scott Van Lith. He works for a local masonry company as a professional concrete finisher and manager. Maybe one day I will too. So lining up the interview was fairly easy. I got in touch with the local company he works for and got his phone number. And there was a little bit of trouble trying to find a date that worked for the both of us. He has a busy schedule, but we found a Saturday that worked, and we sat down in his office and I interviewed him. I picked him because in the summer I do concrete and masonry work like him, but I'm more of a labor guy. I don't really do anything with the managerial side of it all. He does a lot of paperwork or stuff like that, more business-oriented stuff. And I'm interested in what all I can do with this career I've kind of started already. I know where I'm at now, but I just want to know what my opportunities for the future are. So I interviewed him and it went pretty well. We sat down and it was fairly casual. I wasn't too stressed out about it or anything. We sat down and talked it out and it went pretty well. It was casual yet informative. So his job entails a lot of things. He could be doing anything from using a shovel on the ground to do a sidewalk or a concrete driveway, all the way up to hiring and firing or doing paperwork or taxes or company things like that, blueprints and all that. So he does a lot of stuff managing clients and workers and a lot of equipment usage, more technical things like that. And it doesn't really require a whole lot of education. You don't need to go to college for it. It's a lot of on-the-job training, stuff like that. But one thing that stood out to me, like from my questions and also just from what he was telling me, was communication is huge. Like no matter what aspect you're talking about in the business, communication is a must. Talking with the clients or the coworkers, like you need to be able to communicate well and handle people well. It's a huge part of the job. So with the clients, you need to be able to see what it is they want from you and your company, and you need to be able to convince them that you are the best option for them. You need to sell them like on your job and on your company, basically on yourself. You need to be able to tell them who you are and what it is you can do for them. You need to tell them that you are the best option for them. So you need to be able to also deal with any problems that arise. If they have a problem with your company or an issue with the job, you need to be able to convince them that you can handle it, you're competent enough, and you can fix whatever happens. You also need to be able to deal with coworkers well. If there's a problem with one of your guys or the crew is fighting or something like that, if they don't really see what it is your vision is or what you're trying to do, then you need to be able to fix that. You need to be able to manage them just as well as you manage everything else. You need to tell them what your vision is, what needs to get done, and how it needs to get done. You need to make sure that your job and like your goal is their goal as well. So especially if there's something that comes up and they don't really understand all of it, they don't need to know the full scope of it so much as you do. They need to know their job and what it is that needs to get done. You need to be able to tell them like effectively and quickly what they have to do and how they have to do it. So communicating is a big part there, but it's also a giant part overall for the company. You need to be able to spread your image and say what it is like you do, and you need to be able to get your message out there to the community. You need to be able to communicate like personally, like through business meetings and stuff like that, speeches to all your employees or just to the world what it is you do and who you are. And then one of the quotes that he said that really stuck out to me from the interview was communication is huge, and being successful in conveying information and communicating can be the difference between making money or losing a job. Like communicating is his job basically. And will I do this job after the interview? Maybe. It definitely helped me realize the importance of communication, and whatever job I end up doing will definitely require it. I don't know if I will do this job and like pursue this career, but I'm glad I had this interview. It was very informative for me. And into the future, I need to focus on communicating better and just dealing with my people skills, like more so than books or paper or anything else like that. I need to be able to deal with people. And so to summarize, communication is essential in any job, but especially in one that can be physical on your body or very high pressure. I don't know what my future career will be, but I'm certain that it will require communication. Thank you.